Hello YouTube, it's the Dbtgamer Show, episode 182. And today I'm going to review Streets Rage 3, so let's get started. Right, that's my Nintendo Wii set. Let's start this review. Now, Streets Rage 3, well, very sorry to say this, YouTube, but this is probably my least favourite game in the Streets Rage series. And in this review, you'll probably see why. I hate to start a review out on a bad note, but I don't really know what other way to start this review. When I was younger, I had a Sega Mega Drive, and I had plenty of games, so I had plenty of brawlers, and two of my favourite brawlers were Streets Rage 1 and Streets Rage 2. I never owned Streets Rage 3. I didn't even know a Streets Rage 3 existed until the Nintendo Wii came out, and it came out on the Virtual Console. And when I first saw it, I couldn't believe my eyes. I thought, a Streets Rage 3? Awesome! I can't wait to play this! So I, got some points on the system and downloaded it straight away. And the game, it turned out to be okay, but in a lot of ways it turned out to be bad. This game isn't bad, it's just got a lot of problems with it, and therefore it's my least favourite in the series. Anyway, enough of my rants, let's start the review. Now, the story for Streets Rage 3, it's okay, I guess. Mr. X, the big crime boss of the series, has kidnapped a bunch of people, and these people are sort of important people. He's kidnapped the chief of police for one thing, and he's replaced all the people he's kidnapped with robots. And these robots are very lifelike, and they are pretty much almost indistinguishable between the person and, between the machine and the robot, so that they're very, very difficult to tell if they're robotic or not. And Axel, Blaze, and Skate are rather suspicious of this, because a lot of their colleagues don't seem their normal selves. Eventually they figure it out and they have to go rescue their friends from Mr. X and destroy all Mr. X's henchmen and robots that get in their way. So basically it's a rescue mission. Now let's start the game and start the review. The multiplayer for this game is pretty good. You can play 1 or 2 players in any level you like. Graphics of the game. The graphics of the game, I think they're really good. In some ways they're better than Streets Rage 2, because the characters look a little bit more detailed as far as sprites concerned. So definitely improvement there. I'm going to pick a character and then I'm going to start showing off some levels. I'm going to go with Axel, because he's my favourite character in this game. One thing that surprised me when I first turned this game on, this game actually has cutscenes. Okay, the cutscenes aren't voice acted or anything, but I'm all told through that is text bubbles, but they are quite good cutscenes, and they do help to move the story along. Because the previous 2 Streets of Rage games, they didn't really have that much story at all, and yeah, this one tries to be a bit more story-based. The controls of the game. The controls of the game, they're a little bit more advanced than the previous games. Arrows move you around. For this review, I'm using classic controls. B attacks. If you go up to an enemy, you can grab them and pull throws, punches, and kicks. Like that. If it's the X button, you can do a more powerful attack, which is pretty useful. Press the R button, you can do a back attack, which I don't know. It's useful, but it's almost worthless because it's very underpowered. I very rarely find use for it. I almost forget I have it sometimes. A button jumps, you can also attack in the air. You've also got your special moves as usual. Axel's is standing one is the Fire Fist, which is very useful to get enemies off you when they're around you. But he's if press forward and special, you can do his combination of uppercuts just to beat the living shit out of people. Very good move, I have to say. If you double tap the direction you want to go, you can run and do a decent move. And if you double tap down, you can roll out of the way, or you can do that with up as well. So you've got a lot more moves than you had in the previous two games, which does help quite a lot. So I think the controls are good. I do like the variety. The music for the game. Well, the music for the game is very similar to the previous two games, and it's got a nice beat to it. It's just very good music. The gameplay for the game. Well, the gameplay for the game, it's good, but the game is a lot more difficult than the other two Streets of Rage games. I even found a cheat code which gave me the chance to start off with more lives, and I couldn't get that good an ending with that. The game has 4 different endings, and the only ending I've ever got is the worst one. And even with the cheat code, I couldn't get a better ending. I'm usually pretty good at these sort of games. Even with 2 players, I struggle at this game. But the gameplay is still good. Good about this game. Well, the gameplay is good, I have to say. I did like the idea of putting cutscenes in the games. It fleshed out the story a bit more. I also like the levels in the game. There are 7 stages in all, but depending on which difficulty you play on, you can't access every stage. If you're on, I think it's easy mode, you can't access certain stages. Throughout the game there are bosses. Just give me a moment to get to one, I'll be right back. Okay, YouTube, I've managed to make my way through the stage. I'm almost at the boss. Whilst I'm making my way to the boss, I'll talk a bit more about the game. One thing that's different about the stages is the stages are built in sort of like sections this time. Each stage has about 3 different sections, and on the first section you'll fight a boss. So the game is quite a lot longer, and this could be one of the reasons why it's a lot more difficult than the other two. Come on then. Throughout the game there are weapons just like the other two Streets of Rage games. One thing that's different about the weapons this time though is that when you pick up a weapon, the weapon will have a health bar, and when the health bar weapon depletes, you'll drop the weapon and it'll break. This sort of happened in the previous 2 games, but not in the same way. In the previous 2 games, you drop the weapon a certain number of times, it disappeared. With this game, it just dies when it runs out of health. This is the first boss of the game. It's karate dude. He's pretty annoying. Most of the bosses are pretty hard. In one stage, you have to fight the same boss 3 times, all in one go, and that boss just takes forever to kill. My sister actually managed to work out his pattern, but even if you do manage to work out his pattern, the that boss is a pain. He looks like a Japanese samurai sort of character, and he's just an absolute pain in the ass to beat. He can even teleport. He's just really annoying. Once I beat this boss shooter, I'll go on to my next topic. There we go. That didn't take too long. Okay, next thing I want to talk about YouTube is characters. There are 4 playable characters in this game, and most of them are pretty good. So I'm just going to go to the character select screen. I'll talk about each character in turn. Okay, the characters you get to choose from. You've got Axel. Axel, he's probably my favourite character in the game. He's probably one of the most powerfulest. He's got a decent technique stat, and he's also got a very decent reach. His only real flaws are he's kind of slow, and his jumps are a little bit crap as well. Next we have Blaze. Blaze is very well balanced on power, speed, jump and reach, but her technique is probably the highest in the entire game. She's my sister's favourite character, I think. Next we have Skate. I would like to say that Skate is my favourite character, but they screwed up Skate really bad in this game, and the only way to show you how badly they screwed him up is to play as him. Yay! In Streets of Rage 2, Skate was my favourite character. In this game, they've practically ruined him, just for one reason. Press forward and Y. His new special move is retarded, and it just looks silly and it sucks ass, and I just don't like it. In Streets of Rage 2, he had this corkscrew kick, which looked like the one from the Power Rangers movie. And his new special move, I just really don't like it. It's underpowered, and it just makes Skate a very weak character. And Skate is probably one of the weakest characters in the game, so they've made him even weaker. Apparently, there's actually a cheat code to make Skate stronger. Apparently, if you start the game off and lose your first life without killing any bad guys, you can turn into Super Skate and you'll do more damage. But personally, I don't think I should waste a life just to make your character stronger. So one of my biggest complaints with this game is what they did with Skate. Sega, what on earth were you thinking? Now that I've finished talking about Skate, let's go to the next character. The next character is called Zan. Zan is a cyborg. He's a pretty strong character. He's very powerful. He's not as powerful as Axel, but he's still very powerful. His technique's not bad either. His speed's pretty average. His jumps just a little bit better than Axel's. But one thing that Zan excels in is reach. His attacks can reach pretty far. He also has the ability to electrocute people, so he's a pretty cool character. I do tend to use him on occasions, but most of the time I stick between either Blaze or Axel, because they're the two characters that I like to play as best in this game. Now let's talk about characters. Let's talk about the options menu. In the options menu, you can change the settings in the game. You can, in some ways, make the game easier this way. In the option menu, you can change your difficulty level, which does add some more replay to the game. You can start yourself with 5 lives. You can also listen to the sound test. If you plug in a second controller, and if you type in a special code whilst holding some buttons down on controller 1, you can start the game off with 9 lives. If you want more details on the code, which is pretty much essential to beating this game, go to Game Facts and you should be able to get more lives, and this should hopefully help you beat the game. That's enough about the auction menu. Let's show off a bit more gameplay. Let's try play Zan this time. If you manage to collect enough points in the game, you can earn more lives, which can make the game a little bit more easier. One way that the game has been improved is, as opposed to the other Streets of Rage games, you'll notice next to your health bar there's a small flashing meter which says OK and some blue bars underneath it. You may be asking, what on earth is that, David? Well, that bar, my friend, is the combo bar. The combo bar, basically, the more thugs you take out, the more this combo bar builds up and the more points you get for killing thugs. And it's a very useful mechanic because it can make you earn more lives more quickly. So it does make the game a little bit easier. Anyway, YouTube, that's all the footage I'm going to show you. Now on to my complaints. Okay, now my complaints about Streets of Rage 3. Well, I hate to complain about a Streets of Rage game, but here goes. My first complaint with this game is that Streets of Rage 3 is a lot harder than the other 2 games, for several reasons. Reason number 1, you have to beat the game in normal mode in order to get a good ending, which is irritating because the game's already hard enough. Reason number 2, that stupid samurai boss, which practically takes most of your lives. And reason number 3, they absolutely screwed up Skate, and he's very underpowered and he's almost worthless. And that's pretty much it. So my main complaint with Streets of Rage 3 is a lot harder than the other 2, and therefore that kind of ruins it for me. I'm not saying Streets of Rage 3 is a bad game, I'm just saying that whoever made this really should have thought about what it was doing and should have kept the difficulty level a little bit lower, because the game is far too difficult. My rating for Streets of Rage 3 is a 3.5 out of 5. It's a pretty good game, but it's a shame that it's very difficult. My next review, YouTube, will be going back to the jungle and saving a certain Kong in Donkey Kong Country 2. Until then, bye!